Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gonzo, the voice of the FIS, and welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 2 of Season 8 of the Sim Racing Warehouse Formula Indy Series as we go to our first oval track of the season, Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. This is our first visit back to the SoCal track since Season 2 of 2021 and the 10th overall oval race in FIS history. Joining me as always is Stephen Larkamp. Stephen, good to have you here. And well, we are kind of watching practice, and now we're actually falling into the twilight hours here at the oval track, the big oval track that's no longer in Fontana. Rest in peace. But we're looking at some probably pack race-like conditions in a field that's going to feature over 30 cars.
Oh, yeah. And we were looking at practice early on before we got started here tonight, and it was already looking like a pretty much like a pack race of the days of yore. Really brings a lot of vibes back to the 2015 race here in real life, the MAP TV 500 that year. And that gave a lot of vibes to it in practice. And with the nighttime conditions, that's only set to become even more so, with more grip down on the racetrack and the cars running very close together to begin with. This looks like it's going to be quite chaotic, and these drivers had better be preparing for that.
As we got a minute 45 left in qualifying right now.
So far, Caleb Bensey top of the board, 1/100th up on Hunter Engrab. Once again, Hunter looking a lot quicker than his qualifying time last time out of the Nürburgring would suggest. Of course, he's usually very fast in races. And now Sophia Connell jumps up to the pole, a 32.5.
Nice.
Very nicely done. Pole position. Waiting for the final few to complete their runs. Blaze Ondrich and Kyle Clemworth. Clendy particularly, I'm keeping an eye on big time. Looks like Sebastian Gianni and Tommy Raval are not participating in this qualifying session. They're going to be starting from the back of the field, which honestly, you could definitely see a lot of positions made up in this case.
Right, and I have not actually checked race control what the race report is from the last race. Oh, there it is. 221.7. 221.77 for Blaze.
Wow. Blaze Andres, the 91 to the pole, had a solid run last time out in Germany and already looking very strong tonight. But of course, this is likely going to be a race of chaos, I think. And that's really what these guys and gals have got to prepare for, is just chaos.
So we have
100 laps of it.
Yeah, only 100 laps. So it is going to be a short race. It's going to be over quickly. As I'm reading the stewards report from the last race, we only have two, Goyette and Rival. That might be why they decided not to qualify. They're going to get EOLs here, no quals from incidents happening in the last race, but only two incidents out of the last race. Certainly with the number of cars on the track there at Nürburgring, only two incidents. That's interesting. Okay, so we go from qualifying under the lights to now full daylight again. I think we're doing our warm-up.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if that changes when we actually get the cars on the grid.
And that will give us time to get today's starting lineup in here. And take it away, Stephen Larkamp.
And on the pole, Blaze Ondrich, what I believe to be his first pole position in the series. Blazing fast time. He'll be alongside Oval ace Kyle Clemworth, looking to make a stronger impression than last time out in Germany. Sophia Connell was close to a top 10. She is starting third tonight in the 93 machine. She'll be alongside the defending series champion, no less, Caleb Bensey, starting fourth. Hunter Engrab's number 77 will start off fifth alongside Kevin Tomba. Good qualifying run once again for the Swiss driver in sixth. Matthew Short, very good once again, starting off in seventh, alongside the race winner and championship leader, the race winner from last time out, Alex Chilcutt, had a dominating performance last time out. The Oval is going to be something quite different, I would imagine. Joey Selmas will start off 9th in the number 9 machine, fittingly. And rounding out the top 10, Mario Cavallucci will be starting off 10th in the 28. Row 6 will be Logan Edwards and Gavin Sanders. A bit of a struggle for Sanders this time out. Let's see what he could do. Nick Goyette and Dan Morea are row number 7. Row number 8, Zach Baum and Nate Siefker. Row number 9, Logan Spath and Will Weiser from 2nd last time out. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a work for him for sure. Row 10, Hayden Herman and Cody Claiborne. Row 11, Tanner DeFabis, who was lightning fast all season last season. His first time out this time. He missed the Nürburgring. Will start 21st alongside Byron Daly, another really fast guy. Will start off 22nd. Row number 14 will be Griffin Yellen and Dan Miglin. Row number 13. Row 15. 13, I should,
there we go.
13, I should say.
It's a big field.
Losing track of things here. Dan Piazza and Titus Sherlock, one of the dominant figures in the championship last season, starts 26th. Then Gabe Ogden and Brian Labarge. Sarah Correa and Kyle Mundell will be row 15. Gabriel Aslan and Jeremy Fairburn from another good run on the road course to a struggle this time out will be row 16. Row 17 will be Michael Costello and Sebastian Gianni, and shotgun on the field, Tommy Roval. The last two did not post qualifying time, so they will start from the back of the pack. 35 drivers.
A lot.
Yeah, 35 drivers starting here.
30, a lot. Let's put it this way.
Yeah,
hey, in a real IndyCar race here, we've never had more than 33 starters ever in a real IndyCar. I have to go back and look. I know that for a fact, that they never had more than 33 here. In fact, I don't even think they ever had more. Yeah. I don't even think they had 33 here in a real IndyCar race. So this is actually a massive field. Yeah, if you go back and look, probably on Racing Reference would probably tell you that really quickly.
Yeah, and in fact, one time I could think of where it was more than 33 was a weekend I dare not mention, honestly. But
that wasn't here. That wasn't here, though.
It was not here, no. This track never saw anything bigger, not anything bigger than 33, even when it was a marquee event on the kart schedule.
I could figure that out real quick. Just give me up a browser here. One of my favorite websites, Racing Reference, racing-reference.info. And you just got to find Auto Club Speedway. There it is. And we just cycle through here, and we shall see. In the kart era, no more than 28 cars started. 1998 during the race there. That was Jimmy Vasser won that one. And during the IndyCar or the IRL era, no more than 27 started in the very first race when Sam Hornish Jr. won here. So yeah, this is more cars than ever started in a real IndyCar race here. By far.
Oh, absolutely. And it's certainly a lot safer to have that happen in the virtual world than it would be in real life in any case. And perhaps all the more so now that, unfortunately, what used to be California Speedway and then Auto Club Speedway, sadly, is a thing of the past. This track was demolished really since the last time we've been here. There may have been some hope in the form of a short track at one point, but
yeah, that's over with.
It looks like that hope has been dashed.
That's gone. Just keep in mind, this is the site of the IndyCar speed record, the world closed course speed record of 240 plus miles per hour set by Jill DeFerrin back in 2000. 2000 is where speed and technology intersected for the final time on the IndyCar graph of speed and technology. Yeah. It hasn't got ever faster really ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, and for perhaps understandable reasons due to safety. Of course, you want your drivers to be safe, but there's always a magic to going that fast, and the average speed of 241 miles an hour. That is something special indeed. And warm-up ends. We still have daytime conditions like late afternoon. Sim time is saying about 5:30 p.m. And we are getting ourselves gridded up here. So I would imagine still, considering what we saw in practice, this is going to be a tightly packed bunch of cars. And the speeds you can achieve here in the sim,
220
without
plus.
The draft, you're still touching 220 miles an hour on the approach to turns 1 and 3. in the draft, well over 230. So these guys are going to be flying. As everyone gets lined up behind the safety car, behind the pace car. Waiting on everyone to jump in. And we got Gianni and Raval starting from their pit stalls here. That's how far back they are. I imagine they're, with them all the way towards the back to begin with, I bet they're banking on a caution, which these drivers are obviously some of the most skilled in the business, but it's still, they're still very competitive with each other, and the race is relatively short. I would not be at all surprised if we do see that pace car back out at least once.
And the rule set for tonight, this is a fix-it-up race provided by the league. It's a 2-mile D-shaped super speedway. 100 laps, 200 race miles. It's going to go by really quick. No fast repairs. I believe we have unlimited tires. I don't think we have any tire limits. There is a 55-mile-per-hour pit road speed limit. Between CART and IndyCar, the series has ran the former California Auto Club Speedway 14 times, 10 races for 500 milers. We'll get back more into IndyCar history here in a little bit, but before we go green, if you're looking to save money with great prizes and no sales tax, Sim Racing Warehouse is your U.S.-based shop for all your sim racing needs. Plus, for a limited time, you can save with a 5% off coupon. Just type in SRW House in the coupon code section and check them out to save even more. Go to simracingwh.com to learn more. They are the proud sponsors of the Formula Indy Series. Getting ready to go green this time by
Pace car down, and Blaze Andrich bringing them to the line slowly at first. Now he's on the throttle. Green flag flies. Time for some California racing. Andrich clears Clemworth. People up at the front getting themselves into line already. Steady start so far into turn number 1. Andrich already seeing Clemworth. Oh, look at Sophia Connell making the move on the low side on Kyle Clemworth. She's looking to get those spots that she could have won.
Oh, the backstretch is just madness right now.
Oh, yeah. Crazy stuff on there. And now Kyle Clemworth dives to the low side. Oh, Connell on the wall. Connell clips the wall off of turn number 4. Blaze Andrich nearly got caught up in that, but it's Kyle Clemworth leading the way on the first lap there. Connell manages to gather it up. She is still staying in this fight. May have been netcode involved. But Connell has to yield to Caleb Bensey, who takes over second position. Can she get back on the low side? She's looking to do so now. Blaze Andrich losing out from first to fourth, but now he's may well be content at the moment to just sit in the draft and save some fuel, because you do probably have to get a little bit of fuel save here.
Yeah, just a small
to be able
one
to make it on 2 stops.
Yeah, so what the idea is here is you got to do 33, 33, and, well, let's say all your stints are 33 with the exception of one, which is 34. That's the one that gets you home. It doesn't matter if you run the 34 in the first stint, the second stint, or the last stint. You just got to run one. So if once we get a caution, and we're going to get a caution at some point just because we have this many cars in close proximity in a pack race, but they might surprise us, Steven. They might just go caution-free. Hold on. Okay, that's me knocking out some wood, so just making sure. But one of those stints got to be 34, and if they get a caution, that immediately throws that out the window because all the stints at that point out are push, push, push.
Exactly. That's definitely the factor you got to consider here. Sophia Connell, I'm looking at. She may well be wise to consider that as Gavin Sanders.
Gavin Sanders to the bottom.
3 wide in the 3.
He wants to go to the front. Gavin Sanders, last time we were here, finished 3rd spot. Alex Van de Sant won by 18 thousandths of a second over Nate Seifer. Nate wants that one back. He's in the lineup tonight.
Oh, yeah. Gavin from 12th to 3rd. We mentioned last time out when we talked to him at the Nürburgring that the way his marker for doing good in the championship is if he's talking to us at the end of the night is off to a strong start, but a lot of craziness can happen as we're seeing.
Sarah Gura on the bottom, down the backstretch. Not sure what's happening, but off the pace.
Uh-oh. Sarah Gura coasting around there. Lost a few spots so far. But looking up towards the front again.
And Clindy to the point. And I do expect the Rogue Racing guys to be bringing their A game to this one. This is their bread and butter. That is Rogue Racing, Kyle Klindworth, Blaze Andrich, and Hunter Ingrave. Those three cars specifically. This is what they kind of show up every week for in the regular iRacing official series, the Oval Series. They show up for the Oval races and the top split races every week. So they have probably been working up for this one as we are 3 wide at the line with Sanders, Clindy, and Bency.
Oh, yeah, and of course you have the Oval Meister, Kyle Klemworth, but also with a bunch of drivers who are also experienced on ovals in their own right there. Of course, this is a road-focused league, but these drivers are no stranger. Oh, contact towards the back.
We have a car in the air, and that is Joey Selmans.
Joey Selmans airborne there, and a busted-up car is the end result. Not sure what happened there, but caution is out. And already that fuel save game may have been chucked in the trash.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it then. Everyone can push from here on out.
So yeah, you thought it was already a bit hectic. Well, I think it's just going to get even more so now.
And we will go back in time and check that out, that incident on the backstretch. Again, very bumpy track here. Cars darting across 3 lanes, 4 lanes of traffic in the backstretch. It's very easy to do, and this is exactly what we saw. Let's go back and watch this. This is Joey Selmans on the backstretch. He is with one of the Eclipse cars, and right in front of Joey, that is not Hayden Herman. That's Herman Hunter Ingrave, excuse me. And here he come off the corner. We see exactly what happens. We'll also be paying attention to pit road. One of the Eclipse cars got into the wall, and that was Michael Costello.
It was Michael Costello, one of the drivers who races in real life, no less. He races in the US Pro 2000 Championship on the road to Indy. Slaps the wall there and loses it right in front of him. They're rough saving that one, and poor old Joey Selmans. Just nowhere to go in that instance.
And we'll give you a perspective from Joey's point of view, because I don't know if he really saw this thing coming. As we'll watch pit road here, I'm sure there's a lot of look right across it. Just a little bit of net code there started this thing, and there you go. There is your General Lee moment down the backstretch.
Indeed so. And unlike doing it in a Dodge Charger, you don't have the soft suspension to cushion it, and you're going nowhere near as fast in these as you do in these things. But a lot of drivers coming down pit road. Blaze Andrich, Kyle Klemworth among them. Caleb Bency and Mario Capellucci have stayed out, and so has Titus Sherlock.
We're watching on pit road, and let's go back to Caleb Bency.
So we have at least 7 drivers who have stayed out on this cycle of pit stops here. Bency, one of our front runners, is among them, and a few other drivers who could definitely contend seem to have done so as well. Interesting gamble here.
Yeah, defending series champion. That's why he's got the #1 on his car, Caleb Bency. And he is also the all-time wins leader here in the Formula Indy Series with wins on ovals. I got that stat here. I can read it for you guys if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. On ovals, this is our 10th oval race. We had 3 ovals last season, the most ever that we've had in a calendar season, or in a not a calendar season, but in a season period. In season 7, we visited Texas, Milwaukee, and Nashville. And Caleb Bency has 3 wins and 5 podiums on the ovals. Gavin Sanders has 1 win. Nate Seifert has 1 win. And those are just kind of the guys that are also in the lineup that have got wins here in the series. Seifert has 1 win and 3 podiums. Sanders has 1 win and 4 podiums. One of the podiums actually came here last time we were here. That was Alex Van de Sant. Mentioned that. It was Alex, Seifert, and Sanders that were on the podium for that race, and we're at lap 10 here of 100. We're going to go green next time by. And it gives me a chance to shout out tonight's coverage is sponsored by Sim Racing Warehouse. Looking to take your sim racing setup to the next level? Check out Sim Racing Warehouse. From high-quality wheels and pedals to accessories that bring the track right into your home, they have everything you need to race harder, faster, and smarter. All the links you need are in the description. And also, do not forget the coupon code I talked about, SRW House, for a 5% off coupon code that you could use when you check out. If you enjoy the coverage of the Formula Indy Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. Getting ready to go green here, coming to lap 11.
Philip Bensey, so 7 drivers have stayed out on this cycle of pit stops. Bensey, Capelucci, Sherlock, Miglin, Herman, Labarge, and Ogden have all stayed out. Let's see if they get absorbed by the rest of the field quickly. Kyle Clemworth, the leader of the drivers that pitted in 8th. Bensey leads them to the line.
Oh,
not going green.
Wait, wave off. Not
They
going green.
off.
Waving off. So do we see the pace car come back out? I still have the spotter text on my screen, so everyone saw that. They saw what I saw. I was like, whoa. Wave off. That could have been bad if people weren't paying attention.
Oh, yeah, that could have been really bad. Okay, so then, and I'm hearing Kyle Clemworth on the voice chat telling the drivers to slow to a crawl because the pace car has to come back out, and unless they catch that and throw another yellow for another lap, they have to basically stop where they are, or else they'll get a penalty. Like, every one of the leaders will get a penalty. And they have done so. They are throwing another caution flag, waiting for the pace car to catch back up. And the pace car is just cruising along at 70, trying to catch up to Bensey, who slowed it down to about 40 miles an hour at this point. And Titus Sherlock behind him is just cruising along like he's just driving down the shopping street. And now the pace car has caught back up to them, so everyone is safe from not being penalized. So this was a bit chaotic. I guess that's part and parcel
I'm wondering
of what we expect.
I saw some cars coming to pit road, and I'm wondering if there might have been a problem somewhere on the racetrack that we did not see, and they threw. See anything?
Maybe trying to see if
Matthew Short had an end of line penalty that he was given. I don't see what happened. If somebody in chat knows what happened, let us know and we can go back and take a look at it. But I don't see anything that happened. This is kind of just playing into the hands of the guys that decided not to stop. As mentioned, Clindy back in the 8th spot. Is that where he is? Yeah, 8th spot. So first car, and I will circle him on the screen here for you just a second. We get another angle of the field.
So basically everybody from 8th position of Kyle Clemworth on back has come onto pit road on this cycle.
Sorry.
The leaders have not.
Try to circle him on the drone shot. That did not work.
Yeah, kind of hard to John Madden a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there is Clindy. So you see all the cars in front of him. So everybody from Clindy on back decided to come to pit road. And our lead amateur at the moment is Dan Miglin. And we will be talking with the amateur class winner after the race is now part of our regular interviews post-race.
Yep. And now let's get the show going for real once again. End of lap number 12. Pace cars off. Will it be a bit more orderly this time? Yes, it will.
Big accordion in the mid-pack, but we almost got a bit of a stack up, but they kept it off one another.
Okay, yeah, they did keep it. They did keep it clean so far.
And we have a black flag. Jeremy Fairbarn has a black flag.
Oh, no. For overtaking before the line, I presume?
Yeah, we'll try to get a camera on Jeremy. There he is. So he is going to have to come to pit road unless that gets cleared to answer that flag. And that's what happens on the stack-ups. Sorry about that. That's what happens on the stack-ups. They go to the inside because that's kind of what they're used to. And the stack-ups really, because of the way they line up coming to these restarts, there's no place to go that's legal. And he probably had to make the only choice he had available to him.
Exactly. I've had that happen a few times before where everyone's stacking up coming to the line there, and it's either take the penalty or wreck the car. I'd rather take the penalty in that case and try and make my way back up. But looking at the front of the field again, now Mario Capellucci has taken the lead from Caleb Bensi, and Dan Miglin sitting right behind all of them in third. Titus Sherlock getting a bit chippy right now, up into fourth place, and this top 5 pack, which includes Hayden Herman sitting in 5th spot right now, they have gotten themselves a gap right now of about 0.8 of a second back to Brian Labarge and Tanner DeFabis back there battling for 6th. Capellucci back down to the low line, clears yet again. These guys kind of going back and forth with each other. They're probably not going to be taking it super hard at this point. It's easy to do that, but these guys have got to be thinking to themselves, just sure, fight for position, but keep it reasonable too. Maybe even save a bit of fuel while we're at it, because you never know how important that could be in a late stage of an IndyCar race.
I don't think we're looking, and there we see we have a car, Fairbar, coming off of pit road to answer the black flag. I don't think we're going to see a fuel mileage race, but out of habit, and you know about this too because you race these cars quite a bit. That you just out of habit you just get into these things and automatically you go into fuel safe mode, and you get into any other cars. We're 3 wide for the lead. Sherlock Capellucci, who was a leading practice for this, one of the fastest drivers all practice long, and Caleb Bensi 3 wide going through that portion of the racetrack going into turn 1. But you get into behind the machine, one of the wheels of one of these machines, and all of a sudden your mind just automatically shifts in the fuel safe mode. It's part of the nature of driving these cars.
Exactly. And to say nothing of the tire situation, which may well have been something we would have talked about, but from what we saw in practice, it didn't look like tire wear was too big a concern as it is. Not only to a lot of other ovals, but a lot of times where we've actually raced at Auto Club Speedway. We talked before about how bumpy the track surface is here, and this should really put that into perspective. The entire time this track existed, from the mid-90s until it was demolished, this track was never repaved at any point in its existence. And this scan of Auto Club Speedway was from the mid-2010s, so the surface was pretty well run in at this point, and there's a lot of there's clearly visible essentially lanes on the track there.
Yes.
And if you straddle your car on the lane there a little bit, you could lose a lot of grip if you're not careful.
Let's ride with Clindy, who has a lot. Oh, look at that sun down the backstretch in your face.
Oh, brutal.
Look how bumpy this is.
Down.
Look how bumpy. The big bumps going into turn 3. In fact, if it catches your car wrong, it will slam you into the wall. Bumps all over this racetrack. Not like Michigan. It's shaped like Michigan, but it doesn't drive like Michigan. A little bit flatter than Michigan.
Yeah, a lot more rough. A lot more. Really, in some ways, more demanding than Michigan, I guess you could argue. I mean, I know some people may debate otherwise, and I could definitely agree, especially if it's the older form of Michigan. The newer one, though, about as smooth as a billiard table. This one, though, kind of like driving at 200 miles an hour on a dirt road by comparison. Yeah. Or maybe a bit of local humor for me, kind of like driving 200 miles an hour on a road in my home state of Pennsylvania. But Dan Miglin scored as the leader of that last lap. Capellucci now on the point now as they head down the backstretch. Oh, nearly some contact there. I saw the 31 Cody Claiborne, the fish car, nearly getting into contact with Nate Siefker. They're kind of bunched up in this pack as well. And they have got to be very careful, especially with as close as they are, that they don't sneeze really and then they hit something.
Good to see Cody back in the fish car.
Yeah.
This is a battle for 12th.
It's always great to see him back.
13th, 14th, and 15th are points champion, winner of the last race. There he is, Alex Chilcutt. He's having Caution.
Caution.
Oh, and on the backstretch, that is Tommy Raval. Had to start from the back of the pack. And now a long day is, well, actually a little bit shorter.
Indeed so, and that is a severely damaged Tommy Raval. Not sure what entirely happened to him. We'll certainly have a look and see.
Ooh, we're getting a little close quarters on the main straight there. He's racing one of the Mansky cars. Logan Edwards, I believe. And into the corner. That might be, not sure who the car below him is. Still learning. It's one of the red Eclipse cars. And, oh, just a whole lot of netcode. A whole lot of netcode. And that was Sarah Gura. Yeah.
Netcode taketh away.
And netcode. Oh, and Hunter Ingrave goes around.
Oh, no. So I think Ingrave was in that too.
Yeah, but I don't think he touched anything. I think it's one of those things that you saw everything happen in front of you and you come off the power, but you're in the corner and you're probably in the part of the corner where your car is the lightest, maybe. And as soon as you come off the power, it's like hitting the brakes. And we'll watch here. He just comes right around.
Yeah. That is incredibly brutal if you get the wrong.
And Sophia about had a backseat pilot join her. Watch this from Sophia's point of view from the gearbox. Where not an ARCA brake. I can't say that just because it's the closing rates of these cars. That might have been Goyette. This might have been Goyette.
What you mean.
And watch this. It's going to be very up close and personal here in about a second or so. Here you go. Screenshot time. Goyette. Oh, there you go.
So insanely close. And definitely lucky that netcode didn't also mess up that whole affair as well and make it even worse. But Sophia Connell up to 20th now. She started third, went down to the bottom of the top 30, but now starting to work her way back up. And it almost was for naught there. But not for the time being, as we got a lot more drivers coming on the pit road, including the drivers that stayed out previously. Your Bensies, your Miglins. Dan Miglin was actually scored as the leader coming to the yellow flag. And now Dan Morea has taken over that top spot so far.
And remember, he's a former amateur champion here in the series.
Yes, indeed. And in fact, and the amateurs off to the amateur division generally looking fairly strong tonight. Of course, we'll all see the cycle of pit stops here, but Dan Morea staying out on this one. Obviously, he came in on the previous caution back on lap number 9, essentially. About the 1/4 mark so far in tonight's race. We said it was going to be a quick one, but kind of off to a slow-ish start tonight. Well, for obvious reasons.
So let's reset the field for everybody, but we are at the point that we're a quarter of the way through this one already. So we'll just give everyone a good reminder of what you're doing and where you're watching. And if you're just joining us, this is coverage of the Formula Indy Series, the Sim Racing Warehouse Formula Indy Series, coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, because I just hate calling it Auto Club Speedway. It's always been California Speedway or just simply Fontana, but I can say that now since the racetrack doesn't exist anymore. But we've now completed 25 of 100 laps. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. The next race for us in the Formula Indy Series will be next 2 weeks from now, October 8th at 8:20 p.m. Eastern time for round 3, when we visit the Augusta National of Racing, Barber Motorsports Park. And you would think, Steven, the number of times that we run on road courses here in this series, that we've been to Barber Motorsports Park, but we have not been to Barber Motorsports Park. I did not see it in any past statistics. I did not see it in any past schedules. So I believe this is the first time we're going to Barber in series history. So for the first time ever, keep in mind, standing starts on that very short front straightaway. Once again, start time 8:20 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it, right here on P1.
Incredible to think of that we haven't been to Barber yet in this series, especially since it's like a tradition now on the IndyCar calendar in real life You would have thought, but I guess not. So that's going to be a fun thing to experience. But now, let's get another experience in back in California. Dan Morea leading the way, Griffin Yellen and Gabe Ogden, your top three now back to green, starting lap 26 of 100. Everyone getting themselves into some semblance of order now as more drivers making their moves. Blaise Andres cautions out.
And we got a pile up, I believe, at the back of the pack. Yeah, there it is.
Gabriel Aslan, Byron Daly in trouble.
And there was a bad restart. Something happened at the restart that we missed. We're going to have to watch again here. We're not sure who it was or where it started. I think it was around Byron Daly. Byron is going to be that yellow car in the middle of your screen. And, oh, the car in front of him checks up. And again, yeah. I'm not sure who that was in the 21. 21 is already damaged at this point. That's Gabriel Aslan. And so he's going to lose all that downforce, and he just spins right across the nose. One of the other, that is Zach Flaum. Yes, Zach Flaum, one of the admins. Let's go back and watch this again. And we'll watch it from Zach's point of view. And again, this is kind of, I don't want to say kind of what to expect for a road series that runs ovals infrequently, but if you don't practice restarts on an oval, this is kind of what happens. And already you can kind of see Zach kind of saying, I'm not sure about what's going on up there. And he saw it coming, I think. And he tries to hesitate. He puts some gap in between himself and the car in front of him. And now, but we're green, and you got to go. But in front of him, and keep in mind, this is at full speed. He has two damaged cars. And unfortunately, the car in front of him is just simply going to cut across at the wrong time, and he is an innocent victim.
Exactly. And to the point there of practicing restarts, it's so often under practiced by so many drivers. It's why when I was in the Lionheart IndyCar series a few years ago, I should say, back when I was in that series, they made a point in practice, practice sessions that we have a pit party to practice restarts. And that was pretty much every race we ever did, even the warm-up races. That one, because that was really emphasized because it's something that is insanely important, but people historically don't practice all that much. They're more focused on the run. They're more focused on individual laps. But restarts are easily some of the biggest turning points of any race, and more often than not, it can be a bad turning point for a lot of drivers if they don't don't see what to expect.
And this is first of 4 ovals this season for this series. Maybe something they want to look at, before we go live or during that extra warm-up period to start practicing restarts. But they will be on, and here's the schedule. I could bring that up on the screen for you real quick here. There you go. There it is. Next up is Barber. We've talked about that. Then the Chicago Street Course. Then Homestead, Miami. Then we go to Portland, Zolder, Gateway. Then we go to Mexico City, Brands Hatch, Indianapolis. So we actually have 2 super speedways this season, Auto Club in Indianapolis. Then we have a solid intermediate track in Homestead. And then we have a 1.25 miles that kind of races at times, at some points like a pack race, at some points like a short track race, depending on what side of the racetrack you're on. And that's Gateway. Each one of those races is going to drive a little bit differently than what we're seeing here. Auto Club, this experience for these guys at Auto Club will probably be most replicated when we get to Homestead, Miami in about 3 races from now.
Sounds about right to me, honestly. And it is definitely the closest analog I could think of in terms of what these drivers are going to experience next. So let this be a lesson for some of you for when we're at when we're at Homestead particularly, and Indianapolis as well, albeit to a different extent. But Griffin Yellen now scored as race leader, coming to the green flag this go around. Yet another attempt.
Yeah, let's Before we go green, let's give some statuses of some of these drivers because they come from deep in the field. Yellen up 22 spots. Ogden on second, up 25. Miglin up 21. A little bit further back, Tanner DeFavis in 8th spot, up 13. A little bit further back before we go green here real quick. We got Brian Labarge in 13th spot, up 15 positions.
Amazing stuff. Just shows us how much ground can be made up with races like these. Griffin Yellen got a big jump right now on Gabe Ogden, who's under pressure from Miglin, looking to the low side. And already got a bit of a breakaway situation here for Griffin Yellen, trying to pull away from Ogden and Miglin. They're still within draft range, of course, and everybody drafting off each other to get back up to Griffin Yellen.
Ogden into the excuse me, that's Ogden into the wall. And that's going to give Capellucci a shot to the inside. In fact, Ogden's now starting to fall back. He might be damaged. We got a couple black flags showing. Kyle Mundell with the black flag. Zach Flauman with the black flag. Will Weiser with the black flag.
Oh, dear. So already catching out a few drivers that jumped the restart penalty. They're probably, again, trying to avoid a checkup situation here. But Gabe Ogden looks to me like he's definitely suffering right now, and now he's got Blaze Andrich gearbox as well, and Andrich looking to the low side into 3. So I think Ogden, that is definitely hurting him, and Bensi goes by, and here comes Gavin Sanders. He is definitely struggling with a damaged car there, and I don't know if Sanders realizes it. Running right up on his gearbox. He's going to lose 2 positions to this now. Is he going to duck down low? Yes, he will. Realize that Ogden is fighting a damaged car.
Oh, and a big run on the high side. That is Nate Seifer with a huge run just going through your living room there.
Woo! And Seifer not only gets by Ogden, but also gets by Gavin Sanders as well. Bold play for Nate Seifer, but making it work, getting up towards the top 10. And that top pack now has once again been joined, and Kyle Clenworth once again back to the lead.
No time for Clindy. Just right up to the front where he's used to doing it. It is Clindy, Miglin, Capellucci. Here comes Caleb Bensi, Blaze Andrich. Ooh, another car on the wall a little bit further back. Oh, Dan Morera, I think it might be damaged.
Uh-oh. Dan Morera.
Yeah, he has a wobbly left front, so he's going to have to come to pit road and get that taken care of. That's going to be a day done for one of our former amateur champions and leader here in the early portions of this race, as we are now a third of the way through this thing.
Absolutely. Only a third of the way through this race, and Kyle Clenworth leads the way. Here comes Miglin up on the high line trying to make something happen, and got Caleb Bensi for company up there. Meanwhile, look at Seifer. Nate Seifer has gained about 10 spots now, 3 wide in the middle. Alongside Clenworth, they clear Miglin, and Seifer got a nose off of 4. Is he going to lead this lap? I think he will. And that is Nate Seifer to the lead of this race, albeit briefly. But that just shows how much ground you can make going full bore here, and Seifer getting close there to Clendy. Clendy sticking to that low line like it's nobody's business, and whoa! And Blaze Andrich,
wow,
darting low.
And just everybody's like, wow, hold your line, and they're hitting those bumps on the backstretch. So these look like these cars are super happy right now, and they're not. They're trying to keep these cars straight, and whoa, off the corner, almost another car on the wall. A little bit further back, that was a Yellen, and we got Chilcutt, Edwards, Claiborne all around this area.
Everybody really feeling it right now, especially in the pack. And that's one thing you also got to consider is how much air is being taken off the front of the car when you run in the draft like that. A lot of these drivers are going to be pounding through gears. They're trying to find as much grip as they can and as much air over the car as they possibly can, but at the same time, trying to stay. Whoa, Clendy got really close to getting hit there. And contact looked like when the car got very close to the wall there. That may have been Netcode doing its thing yet again and scaring me. But also kind of worrying me is these guys and gals really willing to go 3 wide all the time here so far, getting close to the halfway point. So Seifer, DeFavis, and Miglin were leading the last time around, but I'll say that's subject to change.
It's Miglin! Miglin and Herman!
Hayden Herman, and trying to see there's another car.
Another one.
He as well.
We have
Another
one of the Eclipse cars. Dan
the Eclipse
Miglin.
cars is in it. I think another car actually hit Miglin as he came to a stop.
Okay,
yes,
let's see.
He did get hit. Who was that? That was the 35 machine. That was the 35 of Matthew Short. Short hits Miglin, and day done firmly for him and for Dan Miglin. So one of the front runners is out of the going, as some of the front runners are out of it.
Oh, and Miglin just loses it on his own. He got loose.
Oh. Kind of easy to do as well.
Maybe. Did he have help? Maybe. Did he have help? Netcode help, possibly?
He did.
Let's check him out. Let's check it out. Let's check it out.
He was alongside another car.
No, wow. Let's go back and watch it again. Trying to find a better camera angle. Let's watch it again. Here it is. And oh, yep. There might have been some netcode possibly to start that thing from Clindy to the inside. Clindy had a big run.
Clemworth. Yeah, I think it was a bit of netcode there from either Clendy or Miglin, but Clendy was definitely the driver alongside at the time.
And that's when, unfortunately, Short just kind of rolled into the zone. And I think that's Titus Sherlock that's also involved. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's Titus Sherlock in the 311 out of this race. One of the superstar drivers last season, won a lot of race wins, nearly won the championship in the fight against Caleb Bency, and not off to an auspicious start for the campaign this weekend. This one's going to be a scratch.
All right, so now we got to start looking at the pit stop situation here. So everyone is basically on the same strategy with the exception of one car. And I'm going to go back to this one because it's Gabe Ogden right there. Gabe is on a bit of a different strategy. He is 38 laps into his initial stint. He has not come to pit road according to... Wow. And you know what? I think we still have the schedule. Oh, my God. I still have the schedule on the screen. I'm very sorry. This is awful. Awful. What we'll do is we'll replay these laps after the broadcast, and we'll just make sure that we'll show that action again. That is such a rookie mistake. All right. Anyways, Ogden is now shown as an 11th spot, but has gone 38 laps to do his initial stint. And well, never mind, he's coming to pit road.
Now coming on the pit road, it's about the time to do that, I would say, especially if you kept it out for that long. And one of the Eclipse cars coming in behind as well. That's Jeremy Fairburn. Running 15th there. Kind of been a quiet night for Jeremy. Even he was off to he had a good race going last time out of the Nürburgring. Strong qualifying run. The race didn't quite live up to those expectations, but Jeremy down and away. See what he can do, because there's a lot of opportunity to be had, especially in the back half of this race. They have waved off the restart this go around, so the pace car is staying out one more time. So get everyone else back into order, and let's see if we can't get this second half of the race underway.
Okay, just as a reminder, because of the schedule, again, very sorry about that. That was on the screen. That's what happens when you multitask and you do the production and also are checking out everything else. I will replay the first quarter of the race, or the first third of the race, for everybody again in case we missed anything after this race. We'll just replay it here and do kind of some open commentary, and maybe we'll have Steven, maybe we won't. That's okay.
But one more lap to the green. It will be start of lap 42 that we will see the restart. Nate Siefker, Gavin Sanders, Tanner DeFavis, Caleb Bency, and Mario Capellucci, your top 5. And it has been quite the chaotic start, I'll say that. So with everybody coming in the last little while, I would expect, well, and obviously we're saving fuel for a good bit during these yellows. It's looking to me like one more stop will be in order for these drivers before we get to the end. And I do have to wonder to an extent if fuel saving is once again going to be part of the equation, unless, of course, obviously we get another yellow that obviously changes things completely every time it happens. But as it stands, it could well be that there may be a bit of fuel saving that may need to go on before we get to the checkers.
Okay.
And Seifker...
Yeah, Seifert now as we are starting. He's opting. Seifert's going to opt for the bottom lane. He's just not going to run the traditional top because, well, that just lends the draft to the car to get a big run on you. So Seifert, he's almost won here. He knows what he's doing, so he's going to start on the bottom, and here he goes. And here comes Gavin Sanders. He's going to get a big run on him regardless as they snake back up the front stretch.
Here comes the weave, and everybody ducking down low as soon as the opportunity arises. Gavin Sanders having Tanner DeFavis all over his gearbox. He's having to look in both directions there. Seifker has a bit of a jump. And here comes DeFavis. Going to be looking on Sanders as Sanders looks to take Seifker on the low side for the lead and almost 3 wide at the top of the pack. And now Gavin Sanders move him up to the lead. Seifker back down to third behind DeFavis. As Caleb Bensi and particularly Mario Capalucci, they become the interested spectators to all this, and Seifker back down to the low side. Very much a back and forth affair all night long, and that's only going to continue as it goes on tonight. And it leaves a lot of the possible results of this race up in the air pretty much until the end. As Capalucci, look at that, down on the low side, fifth to the lead in turn number 3. Beautifully done by the 28. As Capalucci now having to weave a little bit as Gavin Sanders back down the low side. Capalucci led that time around 38 1,000ths of a second at the stripe that go around. But Capalucci falls back in line behind Gavin Sanders, and now DeFavis nearly putting Seifker in a box there, but Seifker boxes his way out of it. But still up on that high side as now DeFavis looking down low, but Seifker's got the draft to his advantage. And now the rest of the top 10 starting to catch back up, and really about from about 10th on back, we got a bit of a gap back to the drivers behind. But this lead pack is looking very interesting indeed, especially as we get close to the halfway point.
All right, Zach Flaum just did a purple lap, so new parts on his car is making him very slippery. But right now it's Seifert, Sanders, Capalucci, DeFavis, Bensi, Tomba. Chilcutt now, our points leader, who won last week. And we're back to a caution flag, and I think it is Sarah.
Sophia Connell's in trouble.
Sophia Connell spinning through the grass of the infield, and let's see what happens. Did we just...
And I think I heard on the radio she was not happy with Griffin Yellen.
Oh, Griffin Yellen to the inside. Okay. And, yeah, Griffin just kind of comes up the racetrack, crowds her, and just kind of wow. And then it takes out one of the other Eclipse cars.
Who got hit in that exchange? Was that Fairburn, or was that... Trying to see who else was involved.
I'm not sure who that was. Mundell? No, not Mundell. Fairborn. Yeah, you're right. Fairborn. That was Jeremy. He's had a bit of a rough.
Yeah, Jeremy.
He's had a night like me right now. Watch this again. If he just kind of was right there, he had nowhere to go.
Just an unfortunate bystander in that case for Jeremy Fairburn. Still on the track, though, is the 87 machine with a broken front wing. He's going to have to come back onto pit road to resolve that. But Jeremy could well keep it out and gather some points out of this. But for Sophia Connell and Griffin Yellen, got away with that one. Doesn't look like too much visible damage on the 88, so Griffin got away with that. Sophia Connell did not.
And yeah, I would not want to anger Sophie. Just fair warning on that one. Fair warning on that one.
Yeah, just yeah, let things mellow out before we have a discussion with her about what happened.
And here comes Nate. Nope, pump fake.
Nope, pump fake.
But we do have somebody coming to pit road. We do have someone coming to pit road. Yep. That is a Chilcutt. So
Alex Chilcutt,
this will
running
get him
in 8th, comes back on the pit road.
This would get him into inside about 20-ish to go for his final stop.
Yeah, so it's definitely fuel-wise, it's definitely a safe move, but there's going to be a lot of positions lost there. But considering how packy the race has been and how, frankly, chaotic it's been throughout most of the night, Alex Chilcutt may well be playing it safe, especially since we talked to him last week after, of course, he dominated at the Nürburgring. This doesn't seem to be... this is definitely a new car on a new form of racing him. He's come from the NASCAR side of things and also sports cars. But not so much the two at the same time. Not so much a downforce car on a super speedway like this. So Alex Chilcutt, definitely trial by fire, it would seem, if that's the case here tonight. And playing it safe is probably a smart move, I would think, for the number 6 machine. But meanwhile, Nate Siefker still leads the way. Capellucci, Sanders, Bensi, and DeFabis. His top 5 has been pretty close to each other for the last little while. And we're going to be halfway when we take the green again. I'm expecting the pace car lights to go out this go around.
Yeah, this go around. Hey, the Formula Indy Series is brought to you by Sim Racing Warehouse. Looking to take your sim racing setup to the next level? Well, check out Sim Racing Warehouse. From high-quality wheels and pedals to accessories that bring the track right to your home, they have everything you need to race harder, faster, and smarter. Plus, for a limited time, you can save with a 5% off coupon. Just type in when you check out into the coupon code field SRW. So SRW Warehouse. Gary, this is one of those nights for me, I can tell. SRW House. SRW House. And type that in, and that's the coupon code, and you will save an additional 5%. All the links you need are in the description, as well as the proper coupon code. You just copy and paste that. Don't listen to me, please.
Yeah, do as I suggest, not exactly as I say.
do, yeah. Hey, in December, P1 Broadcasting becomes a primetime home for Today at the 500, sponsored by Oil and Gas Safety Supply, your nightly destination for all the action leading up to the prestigious PRI Hoosier 500 Last Kiss of the Bricks for 2025. We'll start here. The countdown is on, so pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in. If you like to see IndyCar races with these many cars at Indianapolis, well, you won't want to miss it in December when the PRI Hoosier 500 hits. We'll see you in December. Check us out. And we're getting ready to go green this time by at the halfway point. It is Nate, it is Mario, it is Gavin, your top 3.
Pace car peels off. Once again, Siefker sticking to that low line here. Definitely very confident in doing so. Green flag flying yet again. Capellucci going to come down low and take Sanders and Bensi with him. Into the draft and into turn 1. So Sanders looking on the low side now of Capellucci. And Bensi staying up high and actually gets around Gavin Sanders. And here comes DeFabis trying to make it 3-1 on the back straightaway.
Middle. I thought he was going to shoot the middle for a second, but he had enough.
I thought he was.
He had enough momentum to carry on. Tomba now in the battle as the top 6 have kind of separated a little bit.
Capellucci leads the way over the line here, and now Siefker going down low, way down low, in fact. All the way down to the line and clears him even before turn 1, does Nate Siefker. Capellucci now having Bensi, Sanders, and a very chippy Tanner DeFabis to contend with at the moment here as we pass the halfway point.
So you can, I don't remember what they said for the, I gotta, maybe you hear, or maybe you heard during the driver meeting if you could use the apron. We know you could use the apron in the, let's put it this way. The apron was not allowed to be used in a former race here, so I don't think you can use the apron at all if those rules are still in effect. Remember the Bruno Miranda race?
Yes, the one at Michigan where coming to the checkers on that lap, Miranda went all the way down on the apron to win the race. Can't do that, and he got penalized for that one. The win was stricken from him. That was a big no-go zone the last time around, and I imagine that not changed very much unless someone snuck that in underneath us. It was used during qualifying by our pole sitters, so it's usable in that context, but in the race, it's likely been deemed too unsafe, especially if you're going into it with a 2 wide, 3 wide, even 4 wide situation coming to the stripe. And Capellucci once again to the lead, and now Sanders all the way down
3
the
wide,
bottom.
here we go.
Siefker in the middle, 3 wide. And Sanders leads into turn number 1. Siefker giving Capellucci some dirty air. Way up there and allows DeFabis to take advantage.
A lot of dirty air. A lot of dirty air there. Yeah. But that's legal. Here comes DeFabis up 17 spots. In fact, your top 3 up a minimum of 10.
Very close there, Tanner DeFabis getting right up alongside the side pod there of Capellucci. Capellucci holds firm there, and DeFabis actually loses out on the spot to Caleb Benty right now, still sitting in the draft of that number 28. And everyone fighting for whatever they can here. Whoa, very close there. Cody Claiborne, the fish car, getting a little bit twitchy back there. Claiborne in the top 10, now running in 9th, but that was almost undone. And also very close there. I believe that was Kevin Tomba. No, it was not Tomba. That was Sebastian Gianni, I should say. Getting very close to contact yet again. And let's bear in mind, once again, the speed they're doing here, they're touching 230 plus miles an hour going into the corner.
Yeah, here's a real ride with Blaze Andrich here. And there we have on your screen, right there, 200.
And Blaze Andrich slows down and goes down to about 215 to 210 in the middle of the corner. Still really
231, 232, 233, 44. Touches 234 in the corner. Yeah. And a reminder, the track record here is the world's closed course speed record set by Jill DeFerrin in 2000 with a lap of 241.4. It's the only track ever.
Average speed.
Yeah, that was the only. Oh boy. Fish car in the wall, but he gets out of it. This is the only track that's officially held a 240 mile per hour lap. Indianapolis has never held an official 240 mile per hour lap. Never held an unofficial 240 mile per hour lap that I know of.
Yeah, none that I can think of off the top of my head, not even in practice with the hyper-powered kart cars. Maybe we could get there one day, but I don't see that in the near future at the very least. But what I do see in the near future, at least in the context of this race, is still a lot of chippy action. Nate Siefker back up to the point yet again. These guys have been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all night long. 3 wide once again into 1. Gavin Sanders gonna go all the way down the bottom and clear them all. But once again, that's gonna be...
Siefker with a bit of the Brazilian slide and clear on Capellucci. And Capellucci's like, no, I'm going to get you into the backstretch. He goes to the bottom side, and they kind of all swap positions. Gavin goes into the corner leading, comes out in 3rd. Siefker comes out in 2nd. Capellucci as the leader.
Capellucci definitely been very undaunted today in what to people that are not used to oval racing would be a very daunting challenge in an open wheel car. And it's always great to see drivers like Capellucci mixing it in with some of the more established names at the front of the field here, and it's beautiful to see him undaunted by former champions, race winners, and drivers that also want to assert their own dominance in this race, because there is a lot of time left, and we need to see who really is going to be asserting that dominance at the end here as we get close to the final round of pit stops here. Getting close to the window in about 10 laps or so. That's when these drivers have got to consider their final stops here. And if it's going to be under green, that is going to be a bit tricky because we have not had green flag stops yet, and some of these drivers may well be caught out by that transition coming onto pit road.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the guys that are going to have the advantage of the green flag pit stop are the regular oval racers, because they've practiced this quite a bit at this racetrack. So we will see how those regular oval racers. Gianni just sending it down to the bottom there, riding the very bottom of the racetrack. The cars tend to get a little loose coming off the corner if you ride the bottom of the racetrack that much, but he is making it work. Here comes Clindy.
Oh, yeah, he does. And one thing, of course, definitely thing you got to say right now about Sebastian Gianni, started dead last on the field in the top 10 now. Like, that is just showing, like, how, like, playing it safe at the start seems to have worked pretty well for Sebastian Gianni, and this goes to show it so far, working side by side with the likes of, dives it right by Caleb Bensey and gets Sebastian Gianni towards the top 5.
And Gianni, man, it just, end of line? Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
penalty? I'll take your penalty.
Yeah, end of the line doesn't matter. The Argentine driver up into the top 5 now in the 25 machine. Beautiful. Whoa,
Gavin
look
Sanders
at that move yourself with Sanders.
Sanders just a flash on your screen right there.
Yep. First I'm here, now I'm there, and I'm on the low side, and I'm in the lead again as Gavin Sanders. These drivers are just going at it hammer and tongs right now. Whoa, and Siefker nearly gets clipped by Capellucci, who's trying to take the low side, but Siefker all the way down the bottom, once again back to the point. This is not letting up, folks. And whoa, Capellucci looks like trying to pinch down Gavin Sanders going into one, but nothing doing there. Gavin Sanders once again back into the lead. But everyone else seeing this fight and wanting a piece of it. Gianni in 7th place, I should note right now, with the ebb and flow that this race has presented. Logan Spath also, I should note, from 17th to a top 6 position at the stripe last time around. And Kevin Tomba has been pretty consistently in the top 10 through much of this race. And it's been, again, quietly effective, just like last time out of the Nürburgring for the Swiss driver. And Siefker led that last time around. Sanders seems to lead them down the backstretch usually.
Siefker just not waiting long. He's going to stay in that draft. As soon as he gets that momentum, he goes right to the top. That's going to be Siefker at the line. We're going to fan out along the front stretch one more time. Tanner DeFavis now 4th. Caleb Bensey, your defending series champion, 5th. Logan Spath, his teammate, is in 6th. Logan Edwards. We got Logan's Run currently up in the top 10. We got Edwards and Spath, 6th and 7th. Gianni, 8th. Tomba in 9th. And Clindy in 10th. Oh, I love these names. We're getting the best racing names all at the front right now. We got a Mario.
Oh, yeah.
We got a Nate. We got a Gavin. We got a Tanner.
Yes. All the names you'd expect to see in the racing world, and certainly some of the best drivers we tend to see in the IndyCar community and in particularly in road racing, but it's great they show their mettle strong on ovals as well, as Tanner DeFavis tries to make it 4 wide. He's tried it the last couple of laps, way up on the top side of the track. Not quite doing it yet. Ooh, very close there. I think Tomba had a bit of a netco moment with the wall there. Gathers it up, though, as Capellucci all the way down on the low side. Clears Siefker. Back to the lead goes Mario Capellucci. Starting to really get themselves into a rhythm here as Siefker all the way down on the low side there. Capellucci led that lap, but Siefker leads at the moment going through turn number 2. And Gavin Sanders looking for his chance yet again, and there's going to be plenty of them, I think.
Whoa, Gavin just slides right in front of Cappellucci. Cappellucci with the big run. Oh, and on the high side, here comes DeFavis now with the big run. And look at Clindy. Oh, and now we got cars coming to pit road, and that's why.
The leaders are all coming in here with about 30 to go. That's Siefker, Cappellucci, and that Caleb? No, it's not Bensi coming in.
No, that is
So
we have Cappellucci,
Sanders.
Siefker, and Sanders are coming to pit road right now. So this is a scheduled
three of
stop.
the heavy hitters.
Oh, and Siefker misses his marks.
Oh, Nate Siefker.
Oh, they all missed their marks. I think Gavin might have hit his.
Gavin, and they're both down the way. Cappellucci slow to get off the jack. Down and away. So Cappellucci missed his box. And down and away he goes. That's Brian Labarge. He's going to come out alongside right behind Nate Siefker. But the big winner in that exchange is Gavin Sanders. Look at the gap he's gotten. But now at the front of the field, Caleb Bensi and Kyle Clemworth. All these drivers do have to stop again. I need to make that clear here. Bensi down on the low line. Going to be keeping in mind that these guys stop. Bensi coming in,
It's
and
Bensi
so
now,
is
yeah.
DeFavis.
Yeah, Bensi went 47 laps into that stint. Clindy's still at 33. So Clindy, big blink out there. He's back. Clindy's still going to have to stop in the late stages. So when does he make the move to come to pit road for the final time? If he does it now, he could probably short fill it. But it's Clindy, Logan, Tomba.
Let's see.
Gianni,
is he gonna back
Principal
up the
Dan.
No, he's not.
Gianni coming to pit road. He had to really slow down because he was on the high side, and he was not in a position to get on the pit road. And here comes, Cody Claiborne. He closes the gap, doesn't speed.
And takes out the cone, I should note, does Cody Claiborne. He's got himself a passenger riding with him down the pit lane here. Hopefully he's able to knock that off and not damage the car. But Sebastian Gianni also locked up both his front tires coming on the pit road there. Managed to get it down in time. And he was going to get rid of the tires anyway. There was really no need to treat him very well at that point.
No.
But Clemworth and Tomba have both stayed out for quite a while so far. Dan Piazza, Principal Dan, is going to be in third at the moment. Will Weiser in fourth, and Kyle Mundell staying out too. Alex Chilcutt in sixth. But Clendy yielding that to Tomba. Well, not for long. Back down low he goes.
And again, I don't know, with Clindy going low, is he going defensive, or is that the call that I'm coming to pit road? I think that might be I'm going defensive. Because Tomba is coming to pit road.
Tomba's coming in. So now Clendy in the lead. Move Piazza up into second with Will Weiser, Kyle Mundell, and there's also a
Zach Flaum in there.
lap car in the mix.
Yeah, Zach Flaum is involved here, and he's just making some laps now. He's had a bit of a rough race, and Zach a little bit further down in the order right now. Zach is currently in 11th spot, one lap down, so the top 10 all on the lead lap.
Yeah, exactly. And Clendy again staying out this go-around with 25 to go. I'm really wondering here, my thought could perhaps be, is Clendy banking on a yellow? That may well be the case because with a lot of his chief competitors a lap down, it would allow him to come in if the caution does come out. Never mind, I just heard on the radio he is coming in this go-around. Slows it up, gets it down there. Smoothly he does, down to 55.
Showing those oval skills, and he's on pit road. Weiser now picks up the lead. Weiser on the podium last race. One of the regulars that ran in the IIS. Kyle Mundell from deep in the back of the pack, up 27 spots to third. Principal Dan up 23 spots to second. Reminder.
Clendy.
Go ahead.
In his box, looking at the surface here. Up on the jacks he goes. Waiting on it. Waiting on the tires. Fuel is pretty much done. Down and away he goes. So I'm keeping an eye right now on the likes of DeFavis, Siefker. They are catching up quickly. I think that Clendy's going to be swallowed up by these guys quickly. There they go. So Clendy stayed out a bit long there, getting himself back up to speed, but he is going to be in the mix.
No, he's going to be in the mix. They're not really going to eat him up. They're going to eat up his lead,
really.
but he's going to still have the draft to help him out. Weiser now.
Yeah.
Weiser is now your leader. Principal Dan is second. Why do I call him Principal Dan? He's a headmaster at a school in Monza, Italy, just outside of the big race course there. So he is a man that with racing in his blood, much like me here living in Indianapolis. And also involved in there, that is Chilcutt, who is now up in the second spot.
Alex Chilcutt, of course, has to come in yet again, and definitely wanted to gain his experience here on ovals, and it's definitely been an experience, I'll say that much, and he's played it very well so far. Let's see if coming in a bit later in the going, short filling on fuel, can help him out towards the end of this race and get himself a solid spot there. As the driver I'm keeping an eye out for is Kyle Clemworth. He is firmly in the draft now of Cappellucci as the effective leaders as it stands. Your Bency, Sanders, they are all in this pack here, and pretty soon to join them will be that 32 machine. Kyle Clemworth, the Oval Meister, looking to make his presence felt, and there he is. Everyone be wary.
And again, the Weiser at 31 laps, so he is going to have to come to pit road before the end of this race. Sorry.
Cappellucci nearly got clipped by Logan Spat there in the middle there between him and the fans. No contact with Clendy! And
that was a big hit.
Massive wreck. That was him and Cappellucci. Kyle Clemworth and Mario Cappellucci out of this race. Caution out with 20 to go.
And let's see what happens coming down the front straightaway. Cappellucci just, I don't know if he knew Clendy was there or what.
Just misjudged it, and kabam, into the concrete barrier for the pit lane.
And that would have been a hit. I don't even want to talk about that hit, but Clendy, I don't know where to put this one because Cappellucci just, we'll watch from Clendy's point of view. Cappellucci just kind of, he's having the problem in the corner, and there you see DeFabis taking some evasive actions there.
Yeah,
and then he's got to run, and I don't know if he just didn't know that Clendy was to his inside or what. Did Clendy come up?
He was, perhaps.
No, he came down on, I don't know. Oh, gosh.
That is a close one, really. It looked like kind of the race, maybe a bit of a racing deal, honestly. It looked like he was trying to get a bit of momentum on Logan Spath in front of him and trying to get some air down low and misjudged where Clendy was. That is a rough one to call, honestly.
Okay, so that's going to reset the field. At the time of the caution, Principal Dan picked up the lead, and he is 43 laps into his stint. Even if he's going to try to save fuel out here, he needs to come to pit road. So he's probably coming to pit road. Weiser's going to come to pit road. Mundell's going to come to pit road. Everybody back to Bency will probably come to pit road.
Yeah, Cappellucci clarified something in the chat here. He thought he was clear.
Okay.
Yeah, even with lights on, I even have lights on my steering wheel telling me if a car's alongside and it didn't show. He thought he was clear. And apologize for it. So good on you, Mario. But that is just heartbreaking, especially with how good a performance both him and Clendy were doing all night. They would have been contenders to win this race handily. Like, they would have easily been up there with your Bency's, Sanders, and Siefkers of the world.
Hey, don't forget that tonight's coverage is sponsored by Sim Racing Warehouse. Look to take your sim racing setup to the next level. Check out Sim Racing Warehouse, from high-quality wheels to pedals and accessories that bring the track right to your home. They got everything you need to race harder, faster, and smarter. All the links you need in the description, including the 5% off coupon code SR. Sim Racing Warehouse. It's SRW House. SRW House is the coupon code. It is in the description, and all you need to do is just copy and paste it. It's all right there, and just go ahead and save yourself an additional 5%. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching round 2 of 12 of the Formula Indy Series, coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. We're currently, Will Weiser now has picked up the lead. He is staying out. Actually, no, he came back off of pit road, and he is your leader. All these cars that are in front of him are going to get this massive wave around now. And let me explain that rule, what the wave around rule is. Because Will is the race leader, he will be he's kind of awarded the opportunity to bring the field back to green flag. That's basically what it is. That way he doesn't have any lap cars in front of him. It's going to be him racing, up front because he earned that position. This is an IndyCar rule. It's been around for a while. If you watch some older IndyCar races, sometimes you've seen where lap cars are kind of bringing the field back to green. Sometimes that's not safe. So they've established that rule here in iRacing as well. So all the cars that are in front of Will Weiser are going to get this wave around here very quickly, and they're on it now. So they're going to very quickly rejoin the back of this field because we're going green next time by. They might delay the start of this restart, so we will see. But Weiser is good to go. Mundell is good to go. Piazza is good to go. Hunter Ingrave good to go. Caleb Bency actually did come down pit road and threw on another set of tires and topped the tank off. He is good to go. Gavin Sanders is actually, and he's getting the wave around right now. He's at 13 laps on his stint, so he has slightly older tires. So he's going to not have as fresh rubber as everybody in front of him, which is the lead 8. So that is the situation on this restart. Coming at 17 to go right now, we'll be coming to 16 to go. You'll see the whole field coming around turns 1 and 2 here and rejoining the pack. And I don't know if they're going to be all packed up by the time we get to the restart. We might go one more lap.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Make sure to smash the like button, even though it's not been the greatest broadcast production today. We will show you the first 25% to 33% of the race, the first third of the race after this, so just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We will not show you any more graphics on the screen other than the one you see right now with the scoring tree. But getting ready to go green. Don't forget, tomorrow night here on P1 will be round 28 of the American Motorsports Association Black Magic Studio Grand National Series when they visit Kansas Speedway. The AMA is our exclusive NASCAR partner. Coverage starts at 8:20 p.m. Eastern time right here on P1. That is Mark Murphy and Sam Crow in the booth. Green flag back in the air, 16 to go here at Auto Club Speedway.
And Will Weiser leads the way. Of course, everyone trying to get themselves in the draft here, but I'm looking a little bit further back. That battle on for what was the lead previously, and could well be again if these guys play their cards right. Caleb Bency, Gavin Sanders, and of course, we got Tanner DeFavis in the mix as well, and quite a lot of fast drivers working their way up through the back of the top 10 to get themselves up to the lead. Sanders on the low side of Bency, side by side there, nearly 3 wide once again. Nate Siefker up on that high line. Can they catch back up? They got a bit of work to do, but they got that number 20, Zach Flom, to work off of.
They got time to do it.
They certainly have, but not too much. It's going to be 14 to go, and they're going to have to do what I recall being described as monkey barring this one. With how spread out these cars are, these leaders are going to have to swing between one car's draft and another car's draft to get back up to the lead. Calling it like swinging on monkey bars on a playground.
Whoa, here we go. We're going to the back there. They are all in the front portion there. Hunter Ingrave, I think that was Hunter. Hunter now is in the battle here. He's in 5th spot.
Hunter Ingrave started 5th, currently running 5th. It was a bit of a rougher start for Hunter, but looking very strong in the top 5 is Principal Dan Piazza led that last contact. Big wreck. Was that Mundell and Piazza both spinning on the turn 1? No caution yet. Piazza saves it and spins down on the apron. Caution out. Caution.
And let's see what Mundell and what do we get here? Netcode. Mundell. We were watching a little bit further. We were watching a little bit further in the back when this happened. We'll rewatch this.
Oh yes, I saw a bit of netcode there. I think you will be seeing it on your replay there.
Yeah.
Oh. That one was certainly a rough one, but I'm having
and the problem is, and they both went inside the cone for the pit out.
They did.
And so they're both going to get black flags for speeding.
Oh, no. Absolutely brutal there. So, once again, the battle for the lead, claiming yet more victims in that quest for glory. And I'm very unfortunate. 2 more drivers who got themselves into a contending status by merit of their strategy. They planned it out really well, and they got themselves up to the point, and all for naught coming into the final 10 laps. And now Alex Chilcutt in the lead.
That's why I'm laughing. The guy that says, I don't know about ovals, and he's their points leader, and he won the first race of the season with now probably going to green with 10 to go, is now inherited the lead.
Yeah, I mean, he's played it very well. You got to give him that. He's played it, really playing it safe in this, the first 2/3 of this race has really worked wonders for him at this point. And with the final 10 laps leading the way, I'll be keen to see what he can pull off here. As now everybody getting themselves ready, all psyched up for likely a 9-lap sprint to close out this race tonight.
And again, stick around after the race. We will talk with the lead amateur driver, which currently right now the lead amateur driver is Sarah Guerrero. I'll go back and take a look at Sarah there. At one point, we saw Sarah coming off of pit road very early in the race, and they have got their lap back. So we will talk with Sarah Guerrero. If Sarah is the lead amateur driver, and I think unless something happens to Sarah, looking up and down the order, that is Sarah is the only amateur on the lead lap right now, so that might be your amateur winner with 10 to go. I don't want to pre-crown Sarah, because that might be bad luck. But we will be talking to our amateur winner today in class. Then we'll talk to the podium. Then what we'll do after that is we will replay the first portion of this race. So you will see it without having that replay or that graphic in the way.
So as it stands, Alex Chilcutt, Will Weiser, Hunter Engrab, Zach Fahm, and then there's Caleb Bensie in 5th. So one of those drivers that was up towards the front most of the night, still very much in this, as well as a few others. Your Nate Seifkers, Gavin Sanders, Tanner DeFabis as well. Nick Goyette, I should note, in 6th. Been a quiet night, but an effective one. And sometimes that's all you need, especially in a race as hectic as what we've had here tonight. It's like everybody is in rush hour traffic on the 405, except it's at 220 miles an hour.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and replay starting at the restart at lap 28. And we went about 10 laps with that graphic up. Oh, my goodness. So we'll replay all that. That's not going to take very long at all. So we will show you everything that happened there. We got Dan Marrera's like, make sure you're showing me getting killed.
Well, maybe you wouldn't want to see that one, Dan. But pace car lights are out. Give me the start of lap 92. 9 laps to go in Fontana. And let's see, as we get to kind of the climax of your Hollywood action movie, let's see who ultimately makes it through. Will your hero of choice make it to the checkered flag in first? Let's see who's the hero of the story tonight. Alex Chilcutt leading the way up on that top line. Getting used to that position, it would seem. Something he's picked up pretty quickly, I'd imagine. Pace car down. Chilcutt waiting for his chance. Holding, and green flag flies. Perhaps a bit of a stack up incoming, I would imagine. But Chilcutt leads them down to the low line there, trying to put a bit of a weave on these guys. Weiser staying in the draft, and Hunter Engrab looking to see what happens next and catch himself back up there as Caleb Bensie side by side with Zach Fahm for 4th. Whoa. What can Bensie do?
Right out to the wall. So I'm going to shout out Hunter here. Hunter's had, in fact, the whole Rogue Racing squad has had a very good week. Hunter won last week in the Elite Racing League at Road America. And so he's on a bit of a roll. That's his first big-time league win, and he is looking at another one right in the face here in the Formula Indy Series. This is kind of the series that he broke into IndyCars with, and kind of where Rogue Racing kind of found him, was in this league right here. So he is in a shot in contention for the league. But Chilcutt going back in the pack right now, the fourth, as Bency now is the leader. And he goes to the bottom. He's going to bring Will Weiser to the front now. And also involved there is Zach Flaum. Now, Zach was a lap down at one point, but got his lap back. Remember, Zach, caution on the racetrack. Logan Spath, backwards.
Logan Spath, Tanner DeFavis spinning around in turn 3. Once again, a couple of really fast drivers out of contention right at the end there, and that looks like straight up contact there.
Look at this aggressive move by DeFavis going down the backstretch, and I'm not sure if Logan knew he was there. He got a wheel there, and they both slide up into the wall. Yeah,
that was not quite clear, I would say. Tanner DeFavis gets clipped there by Logan Spath, or DeFavis comes up into Spath. It's very close to call there. I'll have a look myself to see what was going on there. So have a look in. So I'm looking at this one in the cockpit of DeFavis right now. Dives it down low, and that was kind of like that one may not have realized just how
and look at this, look at the sun down the backstretch too. The sun is in your face. It is low on the horizon. It is flashing through those trees. Here he goes to the inside, and I don't think Logan, that is the lightest of all light touches right there. And there we go.
Very much so. Yeah, that and probably again, wouldn't have been.
Let's sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but let me reset this up again, and let's just play it at full speed. I mean, if there's any argument about he could have hit his brakes or this is avoidable, watch. There's no time. There just really is no time.
Absolutely not.
And it's sensory overload with the sun flashing in your face through the palm trees on the backstretch.
Yeah, there's so much going on. At once your mind's trying to figure out what is going on here, and then that happens.
Okay. Well,
okay.
We are going to go green, I think, with about 4 to go. So we're going to do a 4-lap sprint, I think, if not a 3-lap sprint.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a fight to the finish. And as like you wouldn't believe, I think these guys are like, this is going to be the moment where utter chaos ensues.
Hey, if you're looking to save money with great prizes and no sales tax, go to Sim Racing Warehouse. It's your U.S.-based shop for all your sim racing needs. Plus, for a limited time, you could save with a 5% off coupon. Just type in SRW House in the coupon code section. And the checkout, when you check out, you could save 5% more. So go to simracingwh.com. All the links you need. The coupon code, everything you need, is in the description to learn more today. Just joining us, this is the late stages of round 2 of 12 of the Formula Indy Series, coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. The next race for us is in 2 weeks when we go to the Augusta National of Racing, Barber Motorsports Park, for the first ever race of the FIS at Barber Motorsports Park there. They will be Wednesday, October 8th, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on P1. Make sure to, we will get that up on the channel here real soon. You can hit the notify button or the reminder button. You'll get the reminder and notified before we go live. That is in 2 weeks when we return back to the road courses here for the Formula Indy Series for round 3.
I still can't believe we haven't been to Barber yet in this series. It's
look
kind of mind-blowing that you pointed that out.
I know, look it up. I went to the Sim Racer Hub where we have all of our stats. And I go there and I go to stats, and then I go to the track tab, and I look down and I see Brands Hatch, I see Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, I see Autodromo Nacional when we ran the junior course during the blackout period, but there's no Barber Motorsports in there, so I don't see it anywhere else on the list. So we've never been there. It's hard to believe. I don't know if they decided not to go there because you could race it so much in other leagues and in an IIS, but it's become quite the driver favorite now. A very challenging pit road there.
Oh yeah, I've always loved Barber. It's a really fun track, but I think we're in for 4 laps here in California of fun and chaos all rolled into one. 4 laps to go this time. Who will win at Fontana?
It is Bensi, Weiser, Flaum, Chilcutt, Ingrave, your top 5. And don't forget, Seifert, Sanders, Goyette, Gianni, and Andrich, your top 10. Here we go. Green flag in the air for the final run here at Auto Club Speedway.
Bensi leads the way comfortably into turn 1. How long will that last? I don't think very long. Will Weiser is going to be looking to pick up that draft real quick, and Zach Fromm is going to follow suit on that. As meanwhile, Gavin Sanders and Siefker battling it out for 6th on the racetrack. Can Siefker? No, he doesn't quite hold off Gavin Sanders. Sanders goes by on the high side. And once again, going to try and get the jump on everyone here and pick up spots as we close out this race. 3 to go. 3 wide, no less. Zach Fromm all the way down the low side. Zach Fromm takes over the lead of this. Will Weiser up on the high line there. Doesn't quite get alongside Caleb Bensi coming off a 2. But Bensi now looking to the low side.
Here comes Weiser. We got a car on the wall coming off a 2. Weiser to the bottom going into 3 and 4. He's going to try to pick up the lead. Coming to 2 to go.
Yes, he does. Weiser to the lead off of turn number 4. 2 laps to go in California. Bensi looking up high. And Weiser will lead the lap 17 one-thousandths of a second at the stripe, by the way. But Zach Fromm up on that high line trying to get the run off the corner on Bensi. Bensi not quite allowing it just yet, but here comes Gavin Sanders. Gavin Sanders is going to stick his head in the fray here. Alex Chilcutt joining him and Nate Siefker. And Hunter Engrav coming to the white flag. It is anybody's game.
Throw a blanket over everybody in the top 9 because there they are, and this is a shot for the lead as we're going to go 4 wide to the line a little bit further back. Caleb Bensi, your Indy Series champion, looking for another oval win. Gavin Sanders right behind him, or right on top of him, basically right there, as we saw Logan one of the Mansky cars get down onto the apron. Now down the backstretch, trying to defend to the inside.
Sanders and Fromm all the way up top. Siefker trying to make it 4 wide into turn number 1. Sanders with the nose going into the corner. Can Bensi hold him out there? Still door to door.
Wrecking behind, and here they come with the checkered flag. And is it going to be Sanders? Is it going to be Bensi? We couldn't count for that angle, and it's Gavin Sanders.
Gavin Sanders, 2 1,000ths of a second at the stripe. Brilliant stuff. 3 wide at the line. Oh my goodness, what a race. Ha ha. Okay, is everyone's blood pressure sufficiently high after that one? But Gavin Sanders, 2 1,000ths of a second. If that's not the closest finish in league history, it is definitely up there. And burn it down, Gavin. We'll be talking to you pretty quick after this one, so I think your goal is pretty well set at the moment.
Yeah, getting into the interview room. And Zach Flaum's going to do some burnouts too. He's like, man, I got my podium. That's as good as a win.
Yeah, he should definitely be happy with that. What a run at the end for Zach Flaum. Quiet all most of the night. Started 15th, has been pretty quiet, but what a bang to end on. Zach Flaum in 3rd.
This is Gavin's first win since Road Atlanta last season when we wrapped up season 7. So let's get into the final stats here, and then we'll get into the interview room real quick, and then we'll replay lap 28 to about 38 for you. And trying to all the production value stuff.
Yeah, indeed. Okay.
All
I think we're starting to chill
take a big breath, everybody.
Woo.
And there you see right there, you said what, 2,000s? It says 3 on my timing and scoring. Any way you look at it, that's damn close.
It's incredibly close. Like I said, if that doesn't break the record for closest finish in the history of the Formula Indy Series, it's going to be insanely close to that mark.
Sanders with the win.
It is.
Yeah. Sanders with the win. This is Sanders bringing up the stats because I don't think we've got. This is Sanders' 13th win in league history, so inching closer. And actually, Caleb was getting close to tying Gavin, so Gavin edges ahead a little bit and inching closer down to Mitch Welker's all-time mark of 17. But Caleb Binsey comes home second, so that's good. That gets him back in the championship battle here. Zach Flaum. I see why Zach scheduled extra oval races on the schedule now. I see it. I see you working, Zach. He comes home third. But I think the big winner here is Alex Chilcutt coming home fourth. He's going to be your points leader, continuing it out of this race. Will Weiser also going to be chasing him in the points. Remember, Will Weiser and Chilcutt both on the podium at our last race. Get top fives here. Hunter Ingrave in sixth. Logan Edwards seventh. Goyette in eighth. Gianni in ninth. And Guerrera lead amateur. So hopefully we'll be talking to Sarah here very soon in the 10th spot. Moving on here. Fairbarn. I think he had a bit of an exciting race. He came home 11th, Labarge in 12th, Siefker 13th, wrecking there at the end. Andrich got wrecked out at the end there, 14th, Claiborne 15th, Piazza, Principal Dan in 16th, Mundell 17th, Spath 18th. A lot of these drivers have had problems. DeFavis 19th, Asling in 20th. Ogden, Tomba, Clindy, Capalucci, Yellen, Connell, Miglin. Again, a lot of these drivers had problems. A lot of contact in this race. It's going to be a lot of reviews. A lot of reviews by the stewards. Furman, Short, Sherlock, top 30. And then we got Dan Daly. First, we got Dan Morera, Daly. Rival, Costello, Salmance. So we need to queue up some replays here. Mm-hmm. And
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like all the people that we wanted to talk to are waiting for us in the waiting room there, and I'm sure they're having an interesting little debrief chat among themselves at the moment.
I can find a replay here. There we go. That works. All right. And let's get off the B-roll so I don't leave that up.
Yeah, don't want to make that error.
No, it's one thing after another right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the interview room and let's talk with, for the first time, since normally we just talk with the amateur champion at the end of the season, but we'll be talking with the amateur winners after each race. Maybe get a different perspective of how this panned out. And here is Sarah. Sarah joining us in the booth as the lead amateur driver. Sarah, talk about your experience out there. We know with the Eclipse squad that you're racing with there, at least you kind of all share the same type of liveries. You're in the red. You're not mainly known as oval drivers, but a good showing for you and a bit of a rough race. Early stages, we showed you coming off a pit road for something, what happened to you. So talk about that, talk about your race, and get your shout-outs in.
Yeah, I had a black flag for passing on the inside on accident.
Oof.
I'm very inexperienced with oval racing, so I didn't quite know what I was doing. I just stayed out of trouble, and I wish I could have gone a little faster.
Well, I mean, not a bad showing at all if you're very inexperienced at top 10 and also recovering from that black flag. So congratulations. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who wants to say hi to while leaving this track as the highest rated amateur?
Well, I guess a shout out to Eclipse, I guess.
All right, that's the team, and that's what brought Sarah here today. Congratulations, Sarah. We don't know what the points are in the amateur championship, but I'm sure it's going to help you out. But we'll catch you at the next race at a little bit more familiar territory when we get to Barber Motorsports Park here in about 2 weeks.
All right.
That was Sarah Guerrera. And interesting
Very
enough,
strong run for her.
I meant to give it a handoff for the shout-outs there, Stephen. Sorry,
it's fine.
But just kind of a react to what Sarah there's like, I don't have a lot of experience on ovals, and top 10.
Yeah, and I'd say that's good experience gained, I would think, and also that smart way of gaining that experience. Just take it easy and learn as you go. Don't do anything super crazy to start with, and Sarah definitely did that, and she's rewarded with a strong result, winning the amateur division and a top 10 overall to boot.
And it makes you wonder what Sarah might have been able to do if this was like 125 laps for a half-distance 500-miler here, or full-distance 500-miler. With all the this was kind of turning into an old-school kart race where we're going to have a lot of attrition, but it makes you wonder if they were able to keep the car clean for a longer distance, maybe higher in the order. So a very good run for Sarah. Let's bring in Zach Flaum, and we will jokingly talk to him about why he schedules oval tracks. Here he is. Zach, we now know why you scheduled more oval tracks on the schedule. Your second oval podium in 2 years, or in 2 seasons here in the FIS, and almost a win. Congratulations, sir. And it was, I guess, a race of 2 halves. At one point, I think we saw you with a floppy nose, getting a repair on pit road, and you drove it all the way back up to the front again. Congratulations on this podium.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll put it this way. This was a crazier podium than the one at Texas last season. 'Cause, like you said, I got caught up in a restart issue. Thankfully, I don't know how it only took off my wing. I haven't watched the replay, but took off the wing, had to get that repaired, and then on that next restart, I got a lap down from a black flag, so I had to do a drive-through. And I got super lucky with the timing of that the second to last caution, and was able to stay on the lead lap or get back on the lead lap. And then, yeah, I kind of just put my foot to the floor and wasn't lifting until Gavin made a smart move like at the very end and kind of went a little high. And I just was like, I'm not going to take out my teammate here. I got to go high, and was hoping I had it, but just didn't have the run at that point. But yeah, we do like oval racing. I definitely like oval racing.
I know you like oval racing.
Yeah. So I am happy we added this one. I also want to thank Nate Seifker, because he's the one that actually paid for this race. So it was going to be Talladega, and we kind of put a stop to that one. That would have been quite the mess. But no, I'm really happy with the result. Really happy with the friends on the podium. They ran a great race, and yeah, it was just a wild one tonight.
In the spirit of the league and the history, I don't think really Talladega belongs here. So a good compromise was here, and I think Nate also
that notion.
Yeah, and I think Nate maybe also said okay to California, because the last time we were here, he finished second, 18 thousandths behind Alex, who won, and so he wanted that win back, and he didn't get it, but I'm sure that's probably why he put it there, and that's exactly where you were. So hey man, I guess here in another couple of seasons or so, you could pay to have well, you're the admin, so you can do whatever you want. You could have a Auto Club back on the schedule if you want. But congratulations. I want to toss it over to Steven for some questions, so you can get some shout outs in here before we get to go.
Thanks.
Yeah, so one thing you pointed out was the starts, and we noticed that quite a bit tonight. There were a few cautions that came out like right after the green flag flew, and a lot of drivers getting caught in checkups there. Do you think that was unexpected that a lot of drivers will be caught out like that? And do you think that is a lot of lessons learned for next oval out at Homestead? I would think, because it would seem pretty similar circumstances we'd be going to there.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate. I think one thing, we have a lot of like mainly road racing guys, so there's some of that like discrepancy just on kind of like getting the laps in and stuff. And but I do think with 36 cars, it's very easy to have some small checkups like that. And at a race where there's so many cars, a small checkup could turn into a pileup. We'll definitely try to see what we can do to kind of clean that up moving forward, especially for Homestead and especially for Indy towards the end of the season. But yeah, no, I love the fact that we've moved to 4 ovals. I think it adds just another dimension to the league that we already had a awesome kind of niche for with the static starts on the road. So yeah, all in all, I mean, today could have been cleaner, but also if today was cleaner, I was stuck a lap down. So I'll take it.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to shout out all our friends, family. I'm sure my parents aren't watching, but I'll make sure to send them the replay. Same thing with my grandparents. And then sponsors wise, I just want to give a shout out to the league sponsors we were able to bring in, Sim Racing Warehouse and VRS. It was really awesome to meet the man in charge at the Sim Racing Expo or Sim Gaming Expo in Chicago, and he's the reason why we've got some awesome prizes to give away. And then just a shout out to Sunset Arctic Games. You know where to go buy it. It's on Steam. And if you want any paints or liveries, Dakota's got that going too with Sunset Arctic Designs. I forget the last word on that one, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. All right, and we will be we'll be playing about 10 laps of the race. I left the graphic up a little too long, so we'll be replaying portions of the race, so your family will get to see the whole portion of the whole race in its entirety.
Wonderful.
But wonderful on my part. Anyways,
no, you're good. Things happen. And plus, I'm gonna send him a replay, and I'm sure I was a lap down when that time.
It's like nothing happened here. Just when we get to the end of the race, don't watch the replay. Okay. Well, congratulations, Zach.
Yeah, I just want to give you guys a shout out. I know we've been working with you guys a long time, and there's a reason we keep coming back. So, P1 Broadcasting, you guys know how to do it.
We try our hardest. Today was not our best example, but thank you very much, Zach. Congratulations on the podium, and we'll catch you back on the road courses in a couple of weeks when we go to the barber.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
We have to get Zach a little extra time to talk. I mean, he's the admin, so.
Yeah, I see that for sure.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's get a better shot here of Caleb here, because he's actually in this portion of the race leading, but we'll bring up Caleb. And here he is. Hey, Caleb, long time no talk. Congratulations on the P2. Sometimes you win races by 0.3 of a second, and then sometimes you lose races by 0.003 of a second. And today, unfortunately, was one of those days, but considering the first race you had at Nürburgring, where you kind of got a top 5, and I want to say probably a top 5 is maybe disappointing for you. I don't know. And the start of your defense of your championship, getting back on the podium for race number 2 kind of starts your season and gets you right back in this thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, big picture wise, pretty happy this night for sure. But I mean, it was a little disappointing to lose in that manner. But I mean, with some of the chaos and the carnage that took out a lot of people throughout the race, I'm kind of just happy to make it to the end. So got to keep that in perspective a little bit. But yeah, like you said, when you do it long enough, I guess you win something like that and you lose something like that. I've definitely had a few of my share of winning those. So yeah, I guess it's only fair to be on the other side of it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, just happy to survive. And I guess, if anything, thankful to be racing against Zach and Gavin there where I know where I'm not going to get killed for the finish or something. So yeah, ultimately just happy to make it to the finish and, wanted that win, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, and one thing that, of course, you were racing among familiar names towards the end of the race there. Of course, you're battling it out with Gavin. Zach was there as well, but also some relatively newer faces making their presence known towards the front of the field as well. And especially since this is a league that doesn't tend to focus much on oval racing, I'm sure that was something that may have been in the back of your mind much of the time there, but you seem to take it with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might be able to tell that we don't focus on over racing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely in my mind because I mean, there was just a lot of crazy moves being made throughout the race when moves that I definitely wouldn't be making, and I was questioning constantly. So yeah, you begin to make a mental note of certain drivers to stay away from.
Yeah.
Keep an extra eye on, even if they're a couple cars ahead of you. So yeah, I mean, ultimately got lucky with a couple of those wrecks. Just happened a little behind me or whatever the case was. So yeah, I mean, ultimately made it to the end. Like I said, I was thankful. I guess it was us three that were coming to the line, for a good clean finish. But yeah, I mean, that's just part of it, especially a track like this where you so much of it's momentum based and not necessarily like perfecting car balance and car control and all that. So every once in a while you have to deal with some aggressive driving, I guess. But yeah, just kind of happy to make it to the end and get some good points.
Well, you know how this works. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. First interview, I'm sure of probably many this season. That's typically how it works for you. So go right ahead.
Yeah, I feel like it's been so long. So
It has
yeah.
been a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, first of all, thanks to family and friends as always. I know bits of people text already and enjoyed the race, enjoyed the broadcast. So thanks you guys for the support as always. And Miga Sakuria and Stowe, if you're new to watching the series, if you're ever in the Northeast Ohio area, please go check them out. Best Mexican food around. Joey Summits Motorsports Art, and yeah, and you guys as well for putting on the broadcast. And I know the family and friends enjoy it as always. So appreciate you guys. I guess now it's the first season of P1 broadcasting, isn't it? Officially.
No, well, we got you last season, but yeah,
okay.
we got a year under our belt now. We're big boys.
Got it. There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
We're happy to have you guys here, and like I said, I know all the family and friends always love you guys' broadcast. So thanks you guys. Thanks for everyone who tuned in, and yeah, hopefully we can keep this momentum going for the rest of the year. It's definitely a lot of competition or stiff competition throughout the series here. So yeah, just gotta take advantage of the positions that find ourselves in, and just put together some good results.
And actually, over on the in the FIS Discord, and part of the replay, I'm going to show a little bit of a replay of the race after the race, Caleb. But there is a picture of the photo finish. That's literally how close everything was.
Oh boy,
from that angle, Caleb, it actually looks like you won from that angle. You might want to go back and ask for a review.
Yeah, maybe the Chicagoland 2008 scenario, huh?
Yeah, I mean that's tight. Yeah, I'm just now seeing it too. That's crazy. Yeah,
well,
I was just trying to pin it, keep it against that white line, and hope for the best. But
yeah, but you got that momentum on the high side, and Big Mo sometimes wins the end of the day. Well, congrats on the P2. We'll catch you in a week or 2 weeks when we get back to Barber, which is a place. As someone that's ran in just about every FIS race, and I've broadcasted every FIS race on races that we were allowed to broadcast, I can't believe we've never been to Barber.
I know, right? Next IndyCar track and everything too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure.
Amazing.
I love the flowing elevation change, high commitment tracks like that. So yeah, looking forward to that one for sure.
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks when we get there.
Yep, sounds good. I'll see you guys.
And that is Caleb, and now we will bring in Gavin Sanders. And here is Gavin Sanders, your winner today. Gav, you got your second career win here in the series on an oval. You won in Texas last year. In fact, you're kind of the only one. You and Caleb were the only guys that won on the ovals and on the road courses. Well, now you got one down on the ovals. You got to get one on the road courses. But man, talk about that run to the finish. It was one for the books, and we were telling Caleb, if you go by the screenshot on the Discord server and the FIS Discord server, he might want to bring that back under review because that screenshot looks like he actually had the lead.
It was pretty close, but I think I had him by like half a nose cone, maybe.
Yeah.
Half a nose cone, but I think the actual gap was 2000s, so that was exciting. Yep. Pretty interesting stuff. I mean, if it was maybe another couple meters, I don't think it was Caleb or I think Zach would have got it. So, yeah, fabulous night. I mean, I came from back to front to back to front to back to front. It felt like. Just with pit stops and the whole caution while everyone was there were still people that hadn't pitted. I think on that last restart I restarted 7th and I just got some runs, picked it off, and of course I figured everyone was going to start going 3 wide and the dirty air would start making casualties, and managed to be in the right place at the right time. And yeah, I mean, it was similar to last season, just making sure
you get on
yep. I can take advantage of clear air when I have to. So
and get those podium
and
finishes and get all those interviews that you keep talking about. It's like, that's what I need to do to keep the points.
Bingo. That's how I get all these gift cards.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, so far the whole vision for the season of talking with us every race seems to be working out so far. I hope for your sake it remains so. But yeah, towards the end, or really throughout the whole race, there was a lot of really aggressive moves throughout much of this event here. And let's not forget on that the final couple of restarts here, you were still in the top 10, but you weren't fighting it out at the front just yet. But you made really effective use of the draft here, and that easily seemed like that was the biggest factor here tonight. And really, what did you think about like how the package handled here tonight? Because it seemed really interesting, and I'm wondering if since we're going to Homestead later this season, a rather similar track in some regards, wonder if might see some similar results.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see the same style of racing at Homestead, just based on obviously the radius, but the setup itself was I felt like it was good. I mean, we can't really I was kind of hoping that it went dark before the race had finished, just to make it even more of a pack race and take away the dirty air even more. But I think that we had a solid balance, and some people were worried about it not having enough front downforce, as far as I'm aware, or maybe it was the inverse. I don't really recall prior to the race, but I felt like it was good. And we didn't have any problems really with burning the right rear off or anything like that. And as you saw, a lot of people being extremely aggressive, and lots of random cautions and people going into attenuators and stuff. So I think that was a byproduct of having a lot of grip, but it would get away from you on the front. So you just had to be really careful. Like on that last restart, I would try and enter top and get down the bottom, and then exit at the top and maximize the speed and get in the draft and do all the stuff that you're supposed to do. But yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I'm excited for the next oval, obviously, and just, track record. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Well, you know how this goes. It's part of the goal, and we know you want us to go to Steam at some point. So go right ahead.
Make sure to buy EchoBlade on Steam. Dakota wasn't here tonight, which is kind of a boo, but,
where was he on an oval track on the schedule? No Dakota.
He's being the most daring of devils. So it was interesting choices, but that's okay. We respect it. Still go buy EchoBlade on Steam, even though he doesn't love us enough to come race, but it's okay.
Dakota.
Oh, agreed. And thank you to Team Melamo Esports and Zach Flaum and the whole admin team for putting on an awesome series, and to you guys for putting on a great broadcast. I'm sure that, my dad...
today wasn't my best work. Today was not my best work.
That already.
Okay,
but that's
all right.
okay, Garrett. That's okay.
We're going to go back and show that here in just a second, but today was not my best work.
But I think the broadcast was so entertaining, my dad might have put an NSFW swear word in the chat, so that's okay.
I deserve that. I deserve that. Sorry, Dad.
He might have blurred it. It might be in ats and stars and stuff, but Alan made an appearance, so it was pretty good, clearly.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry. We will go back and watch that. Yes, we're going to replay that portion. I know. I'm mad at myself. There's no person more mad at that part happening as me. That's why I'm not showing the schedule again until the next race. I'm sure everyone now knows what the schedule looks like.
We definitely know the schedule, and it was just a regional blackout. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Gavin. Have a good one. We'll see you in a couple weeks when we get back to the road courses. On a road course I know that you're pretty familiar with when we get to Barber.
That'll be awesome. See you guys then.
All right. Well, we're not even going to get to final thoughts here. We're just going to and what I'll do and I guess I could just share my screen with you, Steven, and you could just see where I'm
So this would be for those who are wondering which laps we
28.
accidentally put a
accidentally
put a big banner of the schedule in the way of. Let's have a look.
You see my feed here.
I do, yes.
Yeah, what we do here is a lot of broadcasters. They do a shared feed so people know where the camera is all the time. I don't do that here at P1. I always have the other commentators find the battles they want to talk about, and then we'll get the camera on them. So that's kind of how we work here. But let's go back to let's right here, and we just went under caution. And that's Dan Miglin. So we will. I can't show you who is actually leading now because my overlay doesn't kind of work that way. But I bet you. Well, there's Gavin. So I just need to find those group of guys that are leading. And I believe that is. Is that Sarah up at the front? No, that's oh, this is Griffin Yellen's leading. This is the Griffin Yellen restart.
Yeah, Yellen was towards the front on this go around. And everyone getting themselves into order here. So this was again a fairly short spurt, but it's always good to show what happened here during the course of events. Especially since the incident that would come towards the end of this was one of those pivotal moments, it would seem. I think we got one more lap behind the pace car on this one.
And again, you don't really, well, the overlays kind of aren't going to work out. So that's why I'm leaving the basic on the bottom, so you at least know who the camera is on. I don't think, no, the Race Lab apps doesn't even work on a replay like this. So Miglin is in the car, the blue car. I do know that. We're still learning liveries a little bit. Let's see, who's the second car back? That is Ogden. Ogden, yes, Gabe Ogden.
Yeah, Gabe Ogden.
And then it's Capalucci, Clindy. Then that is what the other road racing car, Blaze. And then
Blaze Andridge.
And then Bency. So we're coming to the green flag. We're going to do about 10 laps here. And I think we had a stop and go portion here of this race. And just we had some odd restarts and everything. So here we go.
Pace car off. Waiting on. And green flag flies.
And they're already kind of in the back, sorting out a little bit.
See, yeah, you could definitely see a little bit of a checkup there in the mid pack there. That was a fairly common occurrence throughout the night.
Right around Tomba, I believe. Oh,
yeah, around the wall. Oh, very close there. I think that was a bit of netcode there in the wall.
And Joey Solmance, I think we were watching that. He had himself well, now he's out now. Now, Dan Marrera is going to have a problem in through here. He says, make sure to show it. I don't know what happened. And we got a car coming to pit road. I think we had a black flag that had to be answered there.
Yeah, that was something that was rather common here tonight. A lot of drivers getting caught up by checkups and having to dive down to the low side and eat a penalty just so their car wasn't damaged, which honestly, at the end of the night, was ultimately one of the lesser of two evils.
Here's Clindy. Clindy goes to the front there.
Clindy to the lead, and that is Miglin in third. And
now look at this pack with Ogden. Yeah, look at this pack with Ogden back here. We got Ogden,
Yeah.
We got one of the Stowe cars. We got our eventual winner back there. And here comes the big run by Seifer on the high side. Just a huge run.
Yeah, this was after Ogden got a bit of damage on the car, I think, and Seifer just takes full advantage, dives it past two of them at once, down to the low side, and very close stuff here. Seifer trying to get the run on the high side. And again, the front is turned into a big, big pack here. And this is something that you're definitely going to be seeing. You definitely saw quite a bit throughout the night. That was on the theme race with pack racing.
And there we see one of those Eclipse cars coming off of pit road. And there's okay, there's where Dan got killed. He wants us to show this, so we'll go back and see what happens. And I'm going to guess with the car to his inside, an aero wash.
A little bit of an aero wash situation, perhaps?
Yeah,
yes,
he got kind of crowded up there. That was Labarge in the Lego car.
Yeah, Brian Labarge. Yeah. Oh, just unfortunate there, and it's one of the things that can certainly happen at Auto Club, especially, like, even in a pack race like this, you can still get someone just losing a lot of grip mid-corner and just coming right up the track into you, and that's what happened there.
Clindy is your leader now, and Nate Seifer just sending it on the outside here.
Yeah, Seifer just went full bore this go around to get himself up towards the front, and he was there for most of the night as well.
Just didn't see that checkered flag like he wanted to.
No, definitely didn't. I think he got caught up in that wreck on the last lap.
Here we go.
Seifer really made his presence felt.
2 by 2 by 2, 3 wide. Getting a little close quarters there. That's Titus, I believe.
Titus Sherlock, yeah, he got himself into the situation here a little bit.
Mundell up in there. He's coming on the high side. Tomba there as well. Look at all the bumping. That's not bumping, but just bumps in the road, the bouncing. And we talked about how stiffly sprung these cars are.
Yeah, and also the fact that this track was never repaved in its entire. That certainly doesn't help the cause. Once again, everyone getting themselves the run down the back straightaway. We may be another car getting really close to the wall back there.
That's the Fabus. That's the Fabus in the 5. Sorry.
Yeah. Tanner DeFabus getting himself into the fight too, where he was most of the night, and you saw that smoke there. Again, someone getting the wall that may once again have been netcode. It was usually tell tonight. You get that big puff of smoke, you think either they got a damaged suspension or it's a false alarm.
Yeah, a lot of netcode puff of smokes. Seifer again, defensive. At kind of still at the halfway point in the race, or not even to the halfway point. Right?
Weavy.
Oh, and there's a big wreck. There's the big wreck.
There's the contact. That was Miglin. And I believe Tanner DeFabus was involved in that as well.
And that happened right around Clindy, I believe. So we want to.
Clindy got away with it that go around. Unfortunately, that was not the case later on. But very close stuff throughout the night, and it claimed not only Dan Miglin, who was doing really good, but I believe that was
one of the Eclipse cars. Well. Yeah, one of the Eclipse cars.
One of the Eclipses.
Yeah, so here, watch this to the inside. I think Miglin just comes down and a little netcode takes over. I don't think Clindy did anything nefarious. It's going to be up to the stewards to decide that.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's not my place to say for any sort of official capacity, but I don't know if there was really much Clindy could have done in that instance.
All right, let's see the lap count now. We are at the new overlay. I'm not sure what lap we're at. The overlay should tell us what lap. Lap 38. So actually, we kind of did the portion. I think we're. Yeah, it brought us back where I'm like, oh my god.
Hey.
Yeah, I think, and that's where I actually realized it, and we got it back, and you got to see that. Let's watch it. We can watch it again from England, though, a little bit more. We did a kind of a breakdown, and just no one really got to see it. And there you see here, and let's watch from one of the drone cans. So you're going to see this is coming down the back straight. So Clindy's going to have basically, as you talked about the monkey bar draft, he gets a draft from Clindy, he can get a draft from Sanders, and then he's just going to send it to the inside because he gets a little bit of speed and draft from when Seifer bounced out there. But now we're coming into the corner. Seifer goes all the way to the bottom, gives the dirty air to everybody that's right around him, and there you see the result of that.
Yep. Just an unfortunate side effect of the close quarters racing we saw tonight. It was a spectacular race all around, but it did come with a lot of carnage.
All right, so that is the action that you may have missed because of my mistake. Again, very sorry about that. I am a much better commentator than I am producer. I think that has been proven time and time and time again. But that's why I'm not producing the PRI Hoosier 500. Gary, just sit there and talk. Look, sound pretty, but don't do anything else.
I mean, it was a mistake, but it's one we can learn from. I wouldn't live and learn, Gary. Live and learn. Let's watch while we have everyone here, and you're still watching. There's still 12 of you. Gosh, thanks for staying around. Wow. Let's go to the final lap and watch that finish again. Yeah, let's see that. Didn't make us all happy. Coming to the white flag.
Now here's Gavin, right? So we're going to watch Gavin. We'll just watch from our winner here. He has to come from deep in this battle. He has to pass Hunter. So he gets to pass on Hunter. I think I'm doing like 2 laps from the end here. He gets
2 laps from the end.
He's going to get look at that bottom just opens up for him. So he gets the full pull around Chilcutt. He's going to use Chilcutt. Now he's going to stay on the high side. And the bottom is just going to open up a little bit here for him. And now they're 3 wide, so it's like a mega draft in front of him. He's going to tuck in behind Weiser and pull the car forward.
Yep, he had a little bit of clean air there in the middle, and I think just keep it steady with everyone else, and now he gets the big run down the back straightaway. 3 wide at right now, and now gets the launch. Coming to the stripe where this was not the final lap, but I think this one is. So Sanders is very definitely in the fray at this point. Running right up onto the gearbox of Bensi. Bensi playing big defense down low. And here comes Zach Pham looking up on the high line. Seifer also trying to make it 4 wide.
4 wide for the win
going
here.
Going into 3. Couldn't quite make it stick.
Is everyone wrecking behind here?
Jump behind him. Sanders just noses him out there. It was barely by the length of his wing, not even by his nose cone.
See if I can. They're coming to you at the sun here.
Yeah. Sun doesn't really help in this instance.
On this angle right here, no. We'll see.
Let's see. Flag waving. There it is. Look at that. And the actually, number it said.
Yeah, and I think the number, mine says 003. You say 002. And I think if I do this and I go back to here, that will clear the blur. And there you see at the line, the nose.
Yeah, just a tad bit over the line there, but you can still see.
Yeah.
Just Sanders just barely ahead of Caleb Bensi.
And we'll just go ahead and end it there on that screenshot. Final thoughts from you. First of all, thanks for sticking this out. I do appreciate it. I know it's a long day for you as well. Final thoughts from you here at Auto Club. And now we got a week off. The points I don't think have been updated yet. I'm going to double check. I don't think they have been updated. Okay, so this is a good segue to the points. But final thoughts from you here at Auto Club Speedway before we go off to Barber.
If I ever needed a reason to be sad that California Speedway is no longer a thing in the world, I'll show them the finish of this race, because this is the kind of thing we probably lost. But we certainly got it in spades tonight in the virtual world, and these guys and gals did a phenomenal race tonight, especially the ones that kept their equipment clean to the end and really fought hard at the end of this race. They were the greatest of all, and now we go from a track that's tricky to one track that's tricky to race on, but to another track that's on for a completely different reason, that being Barber Motorsports Park, which I still can't believe that we never saw in this series. But I have no doubt that the vast majority of drivers here are very familiar with Barber Motorsports Park, and they are going to have a great time driving that track. It's a high commitment track, highly demanding on the driver, and they are going to enjoy it. It's always a blast when I've ever driven it. I think we're going to have fun on that one.
Wow, let's look at the points. It is a drag race for the points, just like it was for the finish here. Alex Chilcutt, I suspected, would still be the leader. I knew Gavin would be coming a lot closer and closing a lot of the gap. And he did. He closed it all. It is a tie for the points right now between Alex Chilcutt and Gavin Sanders going into the third race of the season. 13 behind first place is Caleb Benzie, our defending series champion. And he's in a tie with Will Weiser. So it is really tight at the top. But this is where Jeremy Fairborn, who got himself a good finish here as well. He still managed to do a drive to survive. He is now fifth in the points. So actually third, really. So first, there's a tie for first, there's a tie for second, and Fairborn is now third in the points, fifth according to Sim Racer Hub. And then he's only 24 behind. But then when you get behind Fairborn, it's 2 to Ingrave, 2 to Seifert, 2 to Blaze Andrich, 3 to Flaum, 2 to Edwards, 1 to Tomba, and 1 to DeFavis, and 5 to so the entire, really the top 20 is one good race finish away from jumping a whole bunch of people. That's how tight we are right now. So the next couple of races are going to be pretty key in this championship, and I believe with the familiarity that a lot of these drivers are going to have for Barber, I think Barber really is, and you talked about it in your preview for Barber's going to be one really to watch, because there's going to be a lot of racers that are being like, hey, man, I think I have an advantage here. And also, if I look at the points, one good finish for me might get me out of 15 to 20 and inside the top 10.
Very much so. It's going to be a race amongst guys who are going to feel confident going into this, and confidence breeds a lot of action, I find. So I definitely think Barber is going to be one to watch for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, let's get on out of here and give everyone back their Wednesday nights. And I'll kill the stream here for you. Boom. And let's get on out of here. All right, so that's going to do it here today from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana for the Sim Racing Warehouse Formula Indy Series. Your winner, Gavin Sanders. Depending on what screen you're going to look at, it was either 00.3 or 00.2. See what the Sim Racer Hub says. That's the one that I'll go back and look at. They said 003.
Yeah, and mine and the iRacing UI was saying 002.
It must be so close that it's like somewhere around the line it's rounding up or something.
Yeah, probably like 0.0025 or something.
Yeah, fairly. Yeah. So that is the margin of victory. Caleb Benzie wins by that margin at Indianapolis in the Elite Racing League for their Indy 500 and loses by it here in his home league at Auto Club. Zach Flaum, another podium finish here on the ovals. Again, we see him working. Join us again in 2 weeks for round 3 of season 8 of the Formula Indy Series. A return to our bread and butter, the road courses, as we head to Barber Motorsports Park for the very first time. Coverage begins around 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 8:20 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, for everything in the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as we know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. I really would like it if you would, support us by giving this the old like button tonight, even though it doesn't deserve it. But if you do, and I really don't deserve this tonight also with the way that we gaffed this, but hey, if you feel sorry for me, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including the AMA Grand National and Truck Series. Actually, it's the Grand National Series this week at Kansas. That's 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday night. That's going to be right here on P1. That will be Murph and Sam Crow in the booth for that. The Formula Indy Series is brought to you by Sim Racing Warehouse. Looking to take your sim racing setup to the next level? Well, check out Sim Racing Warehouse. From high-quality wheels and pedals to accessories that bring the track right into your home. They got everything you need to race harder, smarter, and faster. Plus, for a limited time, you can save 5% off with a coupon code. Just type in SRW House in the coupon code section and on checkout and save even more. All the links you need are in the description. Track cams for this race were provided by Whiplash Sim Cams to get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook. You can follow them on X and Instagram today. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries or more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links on Linktree. You can check them out in the description. So for Stephen Narkamp, who stayed up late with me, thank you very much, Stephen, and everyone here at the Formula Indy Series P1 and the Sim Racing Warehouse. I'm Gary Gotso saying thanks, everybody. Good night, and thanks for watching. All of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again in 2 weeks at Barber Motorsports Park for the next race up, the Formula Indy Series, right here on P1. Good night, everybody.